Hi, my name is Jeff. I'm with RCD RV, and today we're going to go over a 2020 coach van Freelander. So, starting here in the back, that's where you want to put your sewer hose. Keep the sewer hose out of your storage compartment, that way there's no smells on the inside. You can put it in from either side, but that's the best place to keep your sewer hose. Storage in here is quite expansive, goes all the way to the other side. There's actually drain holes in the bottom of these, so you can actually, if you wanted to put ice in here or something, this will drain. So it's a very nice storage compartment. If you wanted to put a gas grill out here, right here is the port in which you'd want to do it. You need to buy a little extension for the grill itself. As long as your propane bottle is turned on, you will get propane from here, and you can put, like I said, a gas grill out here. You have two 110 outlets. They're all GFI connected. GFI reset button will be inside, probably in the bathroom. If you want to set a TV out here, hook the cable right here. This is for a solar panel. If you were, for instance, if you were boondocking somewhere and didn't have access to power, you wanted to keep a trickle charge on your battery, that's the way you do it. You buy an external solar panel, just sit it out, plug it in here, and it will keep your battery charged. About a 3 amp charge. Back of your furnace, this will get warm when you're running your furnace, so don't set anything in front of it. It will melt plastic and it will burn you. This is the back of your refrigerator. It's a Dometic refrigerator. Nothing to do in here unless you know how to work on a refrigerator. But if you want to take these tabs out, pull the cap down, make sure there's nothing in there nesting or building a nest. Maybe once or twice a year, back it out just to keep it clean. This is the back of your hot water tank. This is all controlled from the inside. Here's your cap. Cap goes right there. Before you put water to the coach, just put your cap in, otherwise the water's going to run out, because this is the first place water will go to. If you're not going to use the camper for a couple of weeks, it's a good idea to drain your hot water tank so the water doesn't sit in there and stagnate and start to smell. But again, keep this clean. Like I said, wasps and bees, and they like to build little hives in there. There's your propane tank. Just simply turns on and off here. Here's where you'd fill it. Now this propane tank does not come out. You have to take it somewhere to have it filled. Here's a gauge to tell you how much propane you have in the tank. The gauge will only read 3/4 full. It will never show full because of the expansion and contraction of propane. So as far as you can fill it is 3/4. But again, make sure this is turned on to run your outdoor grill, your furnace, your stove top, and your hot water tank. All right, going around to the other side. I'm sorry, you do have a 20-foot outside awning. It's all controlled by a button on the inside, and we'll go over that when we go on the inside. Okay, here you have your generator. It's an Onan 4000. Check your oil, fill your oil. They say every 100 hours you should change your oil. Right here is a plug to drain your oil. Now to start it, hold the button to it. If you can see, it says stop and prime. Hold the button till you see that red light come on. You can start it from outside here or inside. So either inside or outside, but that will run everything in your coach. This is your power cord. This is a 110 30 amp cord. So it looks like a dryer plug at the other end, but it is not a 220. Dryer plugs are 220. This is 110 only. You got about 25 feet of cord here. City water connection. Now the way this works, if you are at a campground and they have water, this is where you connect your hose. If you want to fill your tank, You have a holding tank. It probably carries about 40 gallons of water. Put the hose into here. Fill it up until it will spit out. Then you know it's full. There's also a gauge inside, and I'll show you when we go inside what that is. But hose and carrying water. Now when you use the water you're carrying, there's a water pump button on the inside that you must turn on to pump the water from this tank to your faucets. Now when you have your hose in here using city water, you don't want to turn your pump on. Okay, your pump is only to pump out of your holding tank. Okay, your fuel tank. This is your sewage system here. So your sewer hose that you'll have in your back holding area there, simply twist onto here, take the other end, put it into the ground. You have a gray and a black valve. Your gray is your sink and your shower water, and your black is your toilet waste. So when you want to empty your tanks, right now these are open. When you want to empty your tanks, you empty your black first. There's actually another black valve on the other side, which I'll show you when we go on the other side again. But pull that black valve on the other side, pull this black valve, and all the contents of the toilet will drain out the tube. So when it's done draining, pull your gray valve, and that will wash everything down the tube into the sewage drainage. Now if you don't have sewage at your campground, naturally you keep these closed and you have to go to a dump station somewhere. Same process, pull your blacks first, then you pull your gray. Then when you're done, simply disconnect the hose, put the cap back on, put your hose in the back bumper, okay? And this is the other side of your storage. Again, it goes all the way through to the other side. Up top you have a backup camera, which works only when the coach is on, turned on. So you have a bicycle rack. Here's that other black valve. So that black valve is that's right underneath the bathroom. So that's the one you want to pull first, then go to the other side, pull the other black, let it drain, then pull your gray. All right, let's go inside now and take a look at the inside. Okay, on the inside, we have a patio light, which is the awning light. Interior lights. This is your awning button. It's a simple in and out. Wherever you let your finger go, it's going to stop. If you got a tree too close, you can only go out that far, just stop it. Bring it in, just the exact opposite. Just bring it in. Down at the bottom here, this is a battery disconnect. You have a battery right underneath here, right underneath your step. That is your house battery. So if you're done camping for a while, simply turn this to the off position. What that does, it stops any drain on that battery, but it also stops any charge coming into that battery. So if you're done camping for a while, go and shut it off until you're ready to camp again. But that is your switch to shut off the house battery. Here's your fuse panel. It's your 110 breakers. Everything's labeled right here. Here's your 12-volt fuses. Everything's labeled right here. Now, when you have a fuse go out, it actually lights up. You can see a light in here. It will show you exactly what fuses it is. And simply pull the fuse out, replace it. But everything's labeled what it's for. Now, this is also your converter. Now, your converter is your battery charger. So when you're plugged in like we are right now, your battery is being charged. If your truck were running, your battery is being charged. So once in a while, you're going to hear a fan running here. That's very normal. That's the charger charging your battery. Okay? You have heat comes down from the lower end. You got air comes from the ceiling. Here's your water pump. I refer to it. When you're pumping water out of your tank, you turn that on and you leave it on, because once there's water on board, it's going to pressurize the water lines. Then when you turn your faucet on, you'll get water. You get water pressure because you have a pump on it. Leave the pump on until you're done camping, because it's just going to repressurize the lines as you use the water. You have a gas water heater right here. What this does is lights the igniter in the water heater. Once that blue light goes out like it just did, it is lit. In fact, I can hear it light right now. So your water heater runs on propane. Make sure your propane's turned on so you will get hot water. It takes about 10-15 minutes to get hot water. It is a 6-gallon hot water tank. The average person, they say, takes 2 gallons, 2 to 2.5 gallons for a shower. So after a couple people taking showers, it'll take about 10-15 minutes to rejuvenate itself. Generator, we talked about how to start it outside. Same process on the inside. It has a prime button right here. Hold that prime in. Light comes on. Go to start. Generator's running. Now that generator will run everything in the coach. Your roof air, your microwave are the big users for the big reason for a generator. Otherwise, you cannot run your roof air or your microwave unless your generator's going. But if you're out boondocking and have no source of power, your generator will run everything in the coach. To stop it, just simply hit stop. You have an hour meter here, shows you how many hours are on it. Again, they say about every 100 hours, change the oil. Right here you have a surge guard power monitor. This is at 30 amps, so there's only one line. And what it does, it shows you how many volts are coming into the coach. So you know you're not putting too many volts into the coach. If you were accidentally plugged into like 50 amps of power, this is only a 30 amp coach, it's going to show you that there's an issue. It also shows you how many amps you're using. So say you're running a couple items and you're running 15-20 amps, you know you have another 10 amps for maxing out on your 30 amp power cord. So this will give you that information right here. GFI switch here. Your refrigerator is electric and propane. To turn it on, simply hit the on button. You got a yellow light showing automatic. Now what automatic means is if you're at a campground and the power would happen to go out in the middle of the night and you not knowing it, it will automatically go to propane. As long as your propane tank is turned on, it will switch to propane because of the loss of electricity. Power comes back on, it's going to go back to electric. So automatic is the place to leave the button. You want to travel down the road, fill this thing up, use it as a cooler, leave it on automatic, it's going to run on propane the whole time you're driving. You get to a campground and you plug in, electric will take over and propane will shut down. But as long as your propane tank's turned on, leave it on automatic. There's only one good reason to force it to propane all the time, and that's if you were at a campground and they have bad power. Every time you turn something on, the lights would flicker. You could take the electric that you're using on this and use it for something else in the coach and just run this on propane. But 99% of the time, run it on automatic and you'll have no issues. It's kind of a carefree deal. Right down here, this grid, that's the back of your furnace. Your furnace does not have a furnace filter. That is a cold air return. Nothing to do in there. Again, maybe once a year, take a shop vac, get in there, paint it out. Just make sure there's nothing in there. No chipmunks, no mice. Right here we have your thermostat. It's pretty simple, it's pretty much like at home. Hit it once, it lights up. Hit it again, it goes to fan only. Again goes to cool, then goes to furnace and just set your temperature. If you wait a couple seconds, it should kick on for us. There, it kicked on. As long as your propane tank's on, your furnace is going to work. If you forget to turn your propane tank on, this will run about 2 or 3 minutes and shut itself off because it has no propane. Then to shut it off, just simply push the button again and it shuts it off. Series of lights here. Right down here you have a carbon monoxide and propane sniffer. That is like an alarm system, just like a smoke detector is. If that would happen to go off, it will chirp. You need to get outside and turn your propane tank off because you have a gas leak, a propane leak in here somewhere. Go outside, turn the propane off, and that will stop the source of the leak. Then you need to find out exactly what's. Probably you left the stovetop on. Microwave, pretty much a home style microwave. Again, this runs on 110 only, or your generator. Your stovetop. Again, your propane must be turned on. Turn it to high and light. Then just set your temperature to wherever you want. Okay? But that sparker makes it nice. Shower. Pretty much a regular shower, hot and cold water with a skylight. Over on this side is the bath, the toilet room. Got a light, got an exhaust fan up there. If you're not familiar with the way the commode works, there's a pedal down here at the bottom. Once you have water put to the coach, either have the water pump on or a hose connected from city water. You push this halfway down and it puts water in the tank and the bowl. Push it all the way down and it flushes. Nice little linen closet in here. A little bit more space up here, a little space underneath the sink. In the bedroom, again, you got vents in here for your air conditioning. The heat will come from the floor. You've got HDMI ports over there. 2 110 outlets above. Light switch. Hanging closet on both sides. Drawer. You do have a TV in this particular unit. These are here. These are access to your water lines. So unless you're working on your shower, those just need to be left alone. And underneath here you have some storage. A little bit of storage. That's your water tank. Moving forward, kitchen sink's a 2-basin sink, hot and cold water. Your kitchen table, simply get a person on the other side, you sit down there, lift up the table, drop those legs out, sit the table on the ledge on both sides, and flatten the cushions out. You have a sleeping spot. This is a jackknife couch, just folds flat. You do have a vent there and a vent over the bunk behind you there. You have a CD DVD player which works off your TV. Light switch, HDMI, light switch up there. You got a ladder up here so that you can get up to the bunk. This simply folds out and covers this space right here. And the front of the coach is pretty much just like a car or pickup truck. Air conditioning. You got power mirrors in here. Door locks. So that's pretty much standard stuff. You do have a 12-volt adapter or plug in there, which is nice. But that's pretty much everything. It's a great coach. Hope you enjoy it, and thanks for shopping on RCD.